DIY project. This project is all about the sheer maxi skirt. I know you guys have seen these pop up out on the runways and in stores. Generally, they're pretty expensive, if I do say so myself. So I decided to do this project to see if I could save myself a little bit of money and still have fun with the trend. So the tools that you'll need for this is obviously the material. You're going to want to go to a local fabric shop and find like a chiffon type of material that is pretty much literally see-through. I mean, this is like one single panel here and you can see right through it. So that's what I'm doing this skirt with. Of course, you could choose to do this project with any material you want, really. And for this one, I'm doing the sheer thing. So I bought about 1.5 yards of fabric. You could buy more if you feel that you need to. That's all I used, and I think it was about like $5 for a yard, so I think I spent like maybe $7 or something like that for the actual fabric. So the other thing that I chose to do was I did this project without using a pattern. You know, the pattern was like $6, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna try to do this with using a skirt that I already have in my wardrobe and just kind of using that as my pattern. So that's what I did. You'll see how I do that if you keep watching. You could choose to use a pattern. That's completely up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. The other things that you will need: needle and thread, pair of scissors, some of the little push pins. That's pretty much it, except for the elastic band. Originally I was going to add an elastic band like this dress has to the top of it, but after spending about 2 hours hand sewing this skirt, I was done. That's the other thing. I chose to do mine by hand because I don't have a sewing machine, but if you do have a sewing machine, this could totally be a lot quicker for you. Yeah, so the elastic band, you know, you could put it on there or you could not. I chose to just kind of roll mine down and hem it a little bit, and I called it good at that. The other thing I wanted to mention, I kind of found out, was that my skirt ended up being pretty narrow through the hip area. Well, not really. You know, like, I tried to put this on by pulling it from my feet up my legs and up that way and over my waist. Well, it would go over my waist, so if you run into that problem, you could add a zipper to the side or to the back if you want to, but I hate zippers. I don't like them. So I opted to put the skirt on over my head versus, you know, pulling it up. So I could put it over my head and put my arms through it and get it down that, you know, over that way and on that way without having to add a zipper. So it's all good. That's pretty much it. If you want to see exactly how I pulled this off, just keep watching. Alright, starting out with taking the black chiffon material and folding it in half. And basically I went into my wardrobe and found a long skirt that I already have and put it on top and pinned it down into place. I'm kind of doing this freestyle. I don't have a pattern, so this is another option that you could do to save a little bit of money and not buy a pattern, because sometimes they can be kind of expensive. Alright, so I'm going to start cutting. What I'm going to do is cut out about 1 inch away from my actual skirt. Number 1, I don't want to cut my skirt. Number 2, I want to give myself a little bit of ease and a little bit of room for when I start to hem it. is actually take my dress off of the pattern, and I'm gonna just put these pins to hold the two pieces of sheer fabric together so I can start sewing. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and taken my blue skirt that was my pattern off, and I've pinned everything into place. I kind of like double pinned too, you know, added more pins because I don't want it to be sliding around while I'm sewing. Now at this point you basically have the pattern and the shape ready to go. So now it's time for sewing. You could choose to do this with a sewing machine, or you can hand sew. In my case, I'm going to hand sew because I don't have a sewing machine. So the first steps you're going to want to do is to actually sew the sides along here all the way down, along that side all the way down, and you're going to want to probably hem the bottom as well. Alright guys, here's the finished project. I sewed down both of the sides, this side and this side. I also hemmed the bottom. This material frays really bad. It also likes to move around a lot, so you kind of need to like pin as you go kind of thing. Originally I did want to put an elastic band at the top, but once I was done sewing I tried it on and the band just kind of seemed like I really don't need it. So I kind of just rolled it down and then put a couple of quick stitches on the top part, so it has like a little hem up here just to finish it off. So that's pretty much it. To hand sew this, it took me about 2 hours, and you know, I was kind of like watching a movie at the same time, but it does take a while to hand sew. If you have a sewing machine, I definitely recommend running it through that. Another thing about this material, it likes to move around a lot. Use lots of pins to hold it in place. And the other thing that I would recommend is to double stitch it. Not only do just one stitch all the way down, but go back and actually do another stitch all the way down so that you have a little bit of like, kind of like a double reinforcement. This material likes to fray a lot and real quick and real easily. So if you double stitch it, it won't come apart on you. Alright guys, you survived another Blue Fox DIY project. So I think I will go ahead and probably post pictures and more project details on my blog like usual, so you could head there if you have any questions come to mind, or if you just want to look into this project a little bit more before you actually do it. Head to my blog. It's always in the info bar down below. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next project.